What up, YouTube? It's your boy Chris. This is Gun TV. Welcome back. So today we're gonna be talking about picking out your firearm. So there's a lot of firearms out there, a lot of brands, different models. I mean, if you think it's hard keeping up with the iPhones or the Samsung phones, the new models that come out, it's about as hard as keeping up with firearms because there's a new firearm coming out every other day, and there's different models, different gens, you name it. There's a whole bunch of different firearms out there. And in this case, we're talking about pistols, carry pistols. So when you're picking out a carry pistol, you're new into the firearms world. You have friends that have probably been doing it for a while, or you're seeing a YouTube channel and you're seeing somebody raving about the Glock this or the Sig Sauer that. There's always gonna be fanboys. You're gonna have friends that might suggest, hey, get this gun, get that gun. The reality is, the first thing you need to do is your own independent research. Go out there, check out a couple YouTube videos, type in conceal carry firearms, whatever it is that you need to do to get this info. Get out there, get the info, see what's out there, see what people are saying, take a look at all these different videos, compare them, write down notes, whatever it is that you need to do to make a well-informed decision. The next thing you want to do is, once you have a list of firearms that you think suit your needs based on what you've heard on ergonomics, on, magazine round capacity, reliability, price point, all these things that factor in. Once you have all that info and you have these firearms that you want to check out, go to your local range and see if they have them. And, go out there, grab a couple of those at a time, or grab them all, try to pick out 3 that you think are the ones that you like the best, and go to the range, shoot them, get a feel for them, compare them, compare the grips, how good they feel in your hand. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into concealed carry other than just how the gun feels in your hand, but I'm talking about it as far as, function, if you will, goes. You want to be proficient with the gun, so you want to be proficient with the gun. You want to hold the gun correctly. You want to be able to aim it correctly. You want to take all these things into account, right? Also, you want to take, magazine capacity into account, reliability. You want a gun that has a track record. Like, we could talk about Glock, right? We know these guns are reliable. They will run no matter what, whether you clean them or not, whether you lubricate them or not, whether they have 1,000 shots on them already, they'll run. They're proven. They have a track record. Glock is on their 5th gen Glock at this point. So you want to make a well-informed decision. You want to go out there. You want to try out these guns, at least the ones that call your interest the most and the ones that you think are suit you best. Once you have that gun that you find that you like, you can aim good with it, you can shoot good with it, it feels good in the hand, it's right there around your price point. I'll be honest, I think that if, you're gonna carry a gun, you should carry the best possible. I'm not telling you go and get a Staccato, which is a very expensive 1911 gun, but I am saying spend good money. Don't go out there and get yourself a Yeet Cannon, a High Point. No, spend good money and get yourself at least a Sig, a Glock, something that's reputable. So make sure that this gun is, again, it's good for you. That it's a gun that you can rack easily. Whether you're a female or an older person, you got to take those things into account. The gun that you get, you might like it. It might feel good. It might be perfect for everyday carry for you. But then it's too hard to rack. It's a little too heavy. You got to take all those things into consideration. There's other things that factor into concealed carry. You want to carry a gun that's not going to print. And by print, I mean that's going to show if you're carrying conceal. You want to make sure that gun is not poking out on your shirt, And to avoid that, you should get a gun that fits your body type. If you're more on the heavy side, you might be able to get away with concealing bigger weapons, depending on how you carry them. But you want to consider that any gun that has longer handle will print a little more than guns that have a shorter handle. An example of a shorter handle would be a Glock 26, has a very short handle. Problem with a gun like that is that it's gonna be hard to draw. You're gonna have to really practice your draw, and it's hard to purchase and get a good grip on it, but it's an excellent concealed carry gun. In fact, it's one of my favorite concealed carry guns because it's one of those, it's the only Glock that can take all the magazines. It can take magazines from the 26, which is its own magazine, all the way to a 50-round drum magazine. But again, it's a little shorter slide and it's snappier. So in my opinion, most self-defense incidents will happen at a short distance, but you want to have a gun that's accurate. You want to have a gun that you can control as best as possible. And these guns with a shorter slide tend to be a little less controllable, for lack of better words. They're a little more snappy, they have more recoil. So you want to have something that you're going to be able to control a little better. A Glock 19 is a perfect example of that. You get an excellent purchase. Most people will get an excellent purchase on this gun. There's people that think the grip is a little too short. I do agree. I'm not a person with really big hands, but I do agree. It's not as long as you would like it to be. It has a good enough grip where it will conceal. And remember, like I said, most of these incidents, self-defense incidents, will happen at a short distance. So it's not like you need a 16-inch barrel to be able to hit your target. But you will need a gun that's reliable and that, again, you can control a lot better. So take those things into consideration. You want something with a decent size slide, not so big of a grip. Me personally, I like to carry sometimes a Glock 19X, which is a Glock 45. It's basically it has a Glock 19 slide and it has a Glock 17 frame. And the 17 frame makes it a little harder to conceal carry, but again, I'm a bigger guy and that's a gun that I would carry in the winter when I'm wearing hoodies or such. But during the summer, I like to carry a X Macro. Now, an X Macro, actually I have one right here at my desk. It's empty. So this gun right here, if you see, has a decent slide, decent length slide, but it has a fairly longer grip. Now, this gun, you can get a beautiful purchase on it. It feels great in the hand. In my opinion, this is probably the greatest, the best concealed carry firearm at the moment. That's my opinion. But the grip does make it a little harder to conceal at times. You gotta have the proper holster. That's another thing. This is gonna be a discussion, a topic for another video. When you are picking out a holster, you need to pick a holster that will fit your body type. Some holsters have right adjustability where you can make the holster ride lower into your waist or higher into your waist. If you're a skinny fella and you don't have a stomach, you don't have a belly, you can make the holster ride a little higher and it'll be perfectly fine. If you're a bigger guy, you have a belly flop, then yeah, you gotta have that holster riding a little lower so it can tuck under your belly. But again, that's a topic for another day. We're talking about picking out your concealed carry firearm. So just to recap, make sure that you go out there, do your research. Make sure that you go out there to the range and try the firearms that called your attention the most in your research. Try them out. Remember, you want to make sure they feel good. You want to make sure they shoot good. You want to make sure that they're reliable. And you want to make sure that they're not going to hurt your pocket. But at the same time, like I said, it's your concealed carry. You're trusting that this firearm is going to do what it's supposed to do. Get something with a good track record on it. I always tell people Glock is a great starting point for all you first-time concealed carry enthusiasts, if you will. So that's a good reference point. Glock 19, I'd say a Glock 43X and a Glock 48. I prefer the 48 because it has a longer slide. It has the same frame as the 43X, but it does have a longer slide, so it's less snappier and it's a lot better to control the recoil. So yeah, go out there, do your research, go to the range, try out a couple guns, and see what fits you best. See what's, better for your everyday carry. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.